let's go to India. Some
Yeah.
wrestlers they produced, right?
Yeah.
Like, what do we got here? Like, who's your guy?
For me, it's Great Khali.
Mine too. I can tell you a weird, like a really weird fucking story. I had a nightmare of the Great Khali chasing me, and like the entire dream, I was just outside his fucking grasp, like, and he was just trying to like he was going to kill me.
That's great stuff, Doug.
It was literally inside the Pujami prison match.
Oh, that is terrifying.
Yeah.
How old were you?
We're not gonna talk about that. Probably like 25.
But yeah, Great Khali is my guy. He did a lot of work in New Japan before he got to WWE, and I think that he showed a lot more promise there. And he was, I would say he's more athletic in those matches. But then when he gets to WWE, he's clearly being restrained in a certain way and working what they call the big man style, where he just kind of
Limps around and
clunk
does very
around.
well.
It's like they clearly didn't know how to coach these bigger guys back then,
They still don't.
and they still don't. But he could have been a much more agile big man if they had the right people to work with him.
I mean, what about Jinder Mahal?
I mean, he's technically Canadian born, but he is very Indian. So he does represent India quite well. What do you think about his transformation from 10 years ago, where he came back much larger?
Well, it's like Drew McIntyre.
I mean, it's a little different than that.
No, they were both pretty small dudes.
I mean,
and then they both came back like, are you sure you got the right guy from the airport? Like, because, yeah.
I mean, Drew was always around that side. He came back lean.
No. Drew came back 50 pounds heavier and 2 inches taller.
Jinder came back like 80 or 90 pounds heavier.
Well, they were both on the same HGH diet.
Like, he almost looked blown up like Batista back then, where he, like...
Oh, I remember.
Like,
because
anchor arms
because my
from
first
SpongeBob.
because again, when he came back, I was like, wasn't he like the fucking, like, sidekick dude for Great Khali? Like...
Oh, Daivari?
Yeah, and I was like, well, no, that's a different guy. Like, I was like, I remember this guy, but he was not this big. And yeah, it's again, it was like, oh, well, I was putting in 8 hours a day at the gym after they fired me. And it's like, okay, but explain the fucking 2 inches of growth in height.
Right?
Like, and then I was like, well, I started eating more of this and this. And it's like, okay, but again, I eat a lot of chicken, but I don't look like that.
Right.
Like, I hate when they use that. Like, oh, I'm buying 2 whole chickens and eating that for dinner, and then I work out for 8 hours. It's like, okay, but I know people who have on, like, I know a couple of people that are on bulk diet right now.
Yeah.
And they've been on it for a year.
And how's that going?
They're a little bigger than they were before, but they're not, like, gigantic.
Well, sometimes it's the deal where you get to work out and you get to eat what you want.
That's basically they're on a very high protein, kind of like the carnivore diet. Like it's a lot of just high protein foods, and then just working out.
Yeah,
it's like they've been on this for a while, and they are not that size, and they work out 2 hours a day. So I'm like, okay, so you're telling me that the 8 hours is where you got the height and the extra 40 pounds of muscle? I don't know about all that.
I mean, crazier things happen, Doug.
I guess. If you're lucky, right? Because again, the Great Khali didn't need that. That man was tall. He was jacked.
Oh, yeah.
And like I remember when he reached out, he put that claw on Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, the Iron Claw.
Yeah, and like
the Von Erichs.
Holy crap. It looked like he was going to crush his, like he could just crush his skull.
Well, there's the one where he bleeds out like a berry. Like out his mouth and out his nose. Little Rey Mysterio. That's a good clip.
Mysterio
Excuse me.
against the Great Khali. And again, that goes back to like the Great Khali being the worker. He doesn't get the credit for. He really doesn't.
No,
You know what would have been a great WrestleMania match? The Great Khali Undertaker.
Yeah, I mean they had a good match.
We already had the Undertaker versus the Giant Gonzalez, and that was a shit show. So that's why we didn't do it. But like the Great Khali could work and move, and he worked well with the Undertaker. Him and the Undertaker had some great matches together.
Right, they had a good one at Judgment Day back when it was a pay-per-view and not a freaking group of people.
What's the point?
Then he had a match with Cena for the title that was decent.
Yep.
Like he looked like a monster in that back when they were booking him good. But they started to make him look like a bit of a joke near the end there. Like those last 5 years or so.
Yeah.
Like it falls off. It's not as enjoyable. Like they clearly mishandled the guy.
Well, I mean that's what they do now with a lot of guys. Like, and the difference is though, back when Khali was there, okay. So the biggest difference is back when Khali was there, Khali wasn't getting paid millions of dollars to just sit on the sidelines and do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, these guys are getting paid all this money, and whether they're being used or not. And I think you can really kind of see that because they get so rusty. Like, because when you haven't seen a guy work in 2 months and then he's out there and just because they haven't been able to use him. But like back then, like the Great Khali was doing everything he could.
Right, and he was making pretty good appearances on SmackDown somewhat consistently.
Yeah. And he was in that Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah, The Longest Yard.
Yeah.
That's a good stuff.
Convict in that. He played a good convict too.
Yeah. He was the ping pong guy.
Like, could you imagine though, like going to prison and like you meet that kind of fucking dude, you're just like, that right there, that is a sphincter closer right there. I'm just saying. You're running into a dude like that in prison.
Let's be friends.
Be hanging yourself before breakfast.
Oh my god, Doug.
I'm just saying. He'd be like, I ain't got no shot, this motherfucker.